Materials used in this presentation are period in nature and used for educational and entertainment purposes. Furthermore, videos have been used in conjunction with the photographs to produce continuity, in some instances are composites, and fall within the purview of the fair use doctrine of U.S. copyright laws. Attributions are given when required. Welcome to A Moment in Crime, a feature vignette presented by the True Crime Man's Dark Imagination YouTube channel. If you've enjoyed this presentation or any other presentation on this channel, please hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell in order to receive notifications on any further offerings on this channel. On March 2, 1905, a middle-aged woman volunteered to babysit for her sister-in-law. Suddenly, at the same time the middle-aged woman babysat the two young children, one of them, 18-month-old Georgette, suddenly became ill and died. On the body of the infant, a physician discovered several small bruises about the neck. Even though the illness and death occurred under the careful watch of the middle-aged woman, her sister-in-law invited her back to babysit her remaining child. 2-year-old Suzanne eventually perished as well, but doctors blamed the death on, quote, unexplained convulsions, end quote. The two deaths did not deter other family members of the woman, Jeanne Weber, from asking her to watch their children. On March 25, 1905, while watching her brother's child, 7-year-old Germaine, the child suffered a sudden choking attack accompanied with dark red marks about her throat. Germaine survived the choking incident, but would not be so lucky the next day. Doctors noted that Germaine had died from a rare case of diphtheria. In addition to the death of Germaine, the Weber's son, Marcel, died 4 days later of the same malady. On April 5, 1905, Weber invited two of her sisters-in-law to dinner while she watched her 10-year-old nephew, Murderess, while the other two women went out shopping later. When the two women returned to Weber's residence prematurely, they found young Murderess on the bed of one of the bedrooms gasping for air, with Weber standing over him with a crazed look on her face. Murderess's throat appeared covered in grotesque bruises. Authorities pressed charges against Weber, with the prosecution alleging she committed 8 murders of children, including 3 of her own and 2 others, Lucie Allende and Marcel Payatos, who died in Weber's care. Prosecutors alleged that Weber murdered her own son to deflect suspicion that she may have been responsible for his death. When placed on trial, the jurors seemed reluctant to believe that a grieving mother had anything to do with the deaths of the children. The jury found her not guilty on February 6, 1906. On April 7, 1907, local residents in the small hamlet of Villedieu requested that a physician come immediately to the Bazouet residence to examine 9-year-old Auguste Bazouet, who lay dead with a badly bruised throat. The babysitter, Madame Moulinet, stood over the physician as he examined the deceased child and concluded that the 9-year-old died from, quote, convulsions, end quote. On May 4, 1907, however, the doctor changed his conclusion when he realized that Madame Moulinet was, in fact, Jeanne Weber. Held for charges and trial, a jury again acquitted Weber when a second autopsy concluded that little Auguste died from typhoid fever. Authorities lost track of Weber's whereabouts until she resurfaced as an orderly at a children's hospital in Faucambeau, and moving from there to the children's home at Ogress, France, which was run by some of Weber's friends who sought to, quote, make up for the wrongs that justice has inflicted upon an innocent woman, end quote. Weber then changed her name to Marie Lemoyne, and after being on the job at Ogress for less than a week, she was caught strangling a child in the home. The owners, friends, who gave her the job in the hopes that Weber was truly innocent of the crimes for which she had been charged, quietly fired her. Weber next appeared in Paris, where police arrested her for vagrancy and confined her for a short time to an asylum at Nanterre. But the doctors there examined her quite thoroughly and pronounced her sane, releasing her to an unsuspecting populace. Weber, seeing no other means of support, became a prostitute and as a member of the oldest profession managed to find a common-law husband. Finally, on May 8, 1908, the couple found lodgings at a family-owned inn in Commercy, France. Shortly thereafter, one of the residents of the inn discovered Weber with her hands around the throat of the innkeeper's 10-year-old son, Marcel Parot. Marcel's father had to brutally manhandle Weber, punching her with all his might 3 times before she loosened her grip from the little boy's throat, even though he was already dead. Charged with murder and put on trial, the court found Weber insane and sentenced her to an asylum at Merville. Investigators placed the blame of the murders of the 10 children squarely at the feet of Weber, even though, through luck, she happened to be acquitted 3 times for several murders. 2 years after her incarceration, Weber strangled herself to death with her bare hands on July 5, 1910. The French people forever remember the remorseless Weber with disdain and even gave her an apropos moniker, the Ogress. One newspaper wrote at the time of Weber's death, quote, "She had enjoyed her last debauch, save for dreams, and in the asylum in which she was confined, it was noticed that she would crook her fingers around invisible throats until at last they crooked around her own, and she was found dead with dried foam around her lips." End quote. This has been A Moment in Crime. If you've enjoyed this presentation or any other presentation on this channel, please hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell in order to receive notifications on any further offerings on this channel.